What keeps a person's memory alive through history? Is it their battle wins, their strong character, or a legacy that outlasts time itself? Think of someone so important that their impact is felt for hundreds of years. Who was this unstoppable force that seemed to dodge death in the midst of war? Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, Naseeha Studio. Today in this video, we're going to talk about one of the bravest commanders and warriors of Islam, who was called as a sword from the swords of Allah. Early life of Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed. Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed, known as the sword from the swords of Allah for his indomitable spirit and unmatched prowess in battle, was born into the esteemed Banu Makhzum clan of the Quraysh tribe in the city of Mecca around 592 CE. His lineage was noble and distinguished. His father, Al-Walid bin al-Mughira, was a wealthy and influential chieftain, recognized for his eloquence and leadership in the pre-Islamic society of Mecca. This heritage placed Khalid in a position of privilege and power, providing him with the foundation that would later influence his formidable military and strategic capabilities. Childhood and education. From a young age, Khalid was immersed in the tribal traditions of the Quraysh, learning the arts of trade and tribal politics. However, unlike many of his peers who focused solely on commerce, Khalid showed a keen interest in martial activities. The era in which he grew up was tumultuous, marked by intertribal conflicts and wars, which influenced the young Khalid profoundly. His education was not confined to the traditional learning of his time, but extended to rigorous physical training and warfare tactics. By his adolescence, he was already known as a capable horseman and a fearsome warrior, participating in minor skirmishes that were common among the tribes. Personality traits. Even in his youth, Khalid exhibited traits that would define his later life: a fearless disposition, sharp intellect, and a natural leadership quality that set him apart from his contemporaries. He was also known for his diplomatic acumen, often accompanying his father to important meetings with other tribal leaders. These early experiences in negotiation and diplomacy contributed significantly to his understanding of complex tribal dynamics, which later played a crucial role in his military campaigns. Pre-Islamic beliefs and practices. As a member of the Quraysh tribe, Khalid was raised in an environment steeped in the idolatrous practices prevalent in Mecca at the time. The Quraysh were custodians of the Kaaba, a sanctuary that housed numerous idols and attracted pilgrims from across Arabia. Khalid's family was directly involved in the management of the pilgrimage rites, which were a significant source of income and power for the tribe. Despite his deep involvement in these traditions, Khalid was known for his questioning mind and often pondered over the rituals and beliefs that surrounded him. This reflective nature would later be pivotal in his conversion to Islam. Military involvement before Islam. Before his conversion, Khalid's military acumen became evident during the Fijar Wars, a series of 4 bloody conflicts among the Arabian tribes. His participation in these battles gave him invaluable experience and a reputation as a formidable warrior. During the wars, Khalid not only honed his skills in swordsmanship and tactics, but also developed a network of alliances that would serve him well in future conflicts. Encounter with Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the early Muslims. Khalid's first encounters with Islam came through his interactions with Muslims in Mecca. Initially, he was one of the staunch opponents of the new faith, which he perceived as a direct threat to the social and economic fabric of Quraysh society. His opposition was not merely ideological but also practical, as he led several campaigns against the early Muslims, including the notable Battle of Uhud. However, these encounters also exposed him to the teachings of Islam and the character of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, planting the seeds of respect and admiration that would later flourish into his conversion. Reflection. In his early life, Khalid bin Waleed was shaped by the tumultuous environment of pre-Islamic Arabia, his noble lineage, and his natural leadership qualities. These elements combined to forge a man who would not only change the course of Islamic history, but also leave a legacy that endures to this day. His journey from a respected Quraysh warrior to one of the most formidable military leaders in Islam exemplifies a transformation driven by conviction, strategic thought, and an unyielding commitment to his beliefs. As we delve deeper into his life story, we witness the complexities of a man who was constantly evolving, shaped by the events and challenges he faced. Conversion to Islam. The conversion of Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed to Islam stands as one of the most important moments in Islamic history. It was not just the addition of an ordinary man into the fold of Muslims. It was the enlistment of a master strategist and a fierce warrior whose presence would dramatically shift the balance of power in the region. His journey from a formidable opponent to a devout follower of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, offers a fascinating glimpse into the transformative power of faith and the profound personal changes Khalid underwent. The prelude to conversion. Khalid's interactions with Muslims and his first-hand experiences in battles against them, such as the Battle of Uhud, gradually exposed him to the principles and the resilience of Islam. Despite his initial resistance, these encounters sparked a profound internal struggle within Khalid. He was a man of honor and valor, and the consistency and bravery of the Muslims in the face of adversity began to make a deep impression on him. As the Quraysh's hostility towards Muslims intensified, Khalid increasingly found himself questioning the cause for which he fought. His analytical mind began to see the futility of opposing a faith that preached unity, moral uprightness, and devotion to a single God. The pivotal moment came after the Treaty of Hudaybiyah in 628 CE, when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, struck a peace agreement with the Quraysh. The treaty's terms, which favored peaceful coexistence over conflict, allowed Khalid to reflect more deeply on the motivations and character of the Muslims. The journey to Medina. After much contemplation, Khalid decided to leave Mecca to join Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in Medina. This decision was fraught with personal risk and sacrifice, as converting to Islam meant turning his back on his tribe and his family, who were prominent leaders of the Quraysh opposition to Islam. His journey to Medina was not just a physical transition, but also a symbolic move from the life of conflict to one of peace and submission to God's will. Accompanied by a small group of fellow seekers, including his close friend Amr ibn al-As, Khalid made his way to Medina. The group, aware of the potential consequences of their decision, traveled with caution, choosing lesser-known routes to avoid confrontation. The meeting with Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Upon reaching Medina, Khalid and his companions were warmly received by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who welcomed them with open arms and a forgiving heart. The Prophet's gracious acceptance and the absence of any recrimination for past hostilities deeply moved Khalid. This encounter was crucial in solidifying his commitment to his new faith. Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, magnanimity exemplified the core Islamic values of compassion and forgiveness, which profoundly influenced Khalid's understanding of leadership and justice. During this meeting, Khalid declared his conversion by reciting the Shahadah, the Islamic declaration of faith, thereby affirming his belief in the oneness of God and Muhammad, peace be upon him, as his messenger. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, then bestowed upon Khalid the title of Saif Ullah, meaning Sword of Allah, signifying his future role as a protector and defender of the faith. The impact of his conversion. Khalid's conversion had a significant impact on the Muslim community. It was a major morale booster for the Muslims, as Khalid was renowned for his tactical genius and combat skills. His presence in the Muslim ranks was not only a strategic advantage, but also a psychological blow to the Quraysh, who lost one of their most capable leaders. For Khalid, the conversion was the beginning of a profound spiritual and personal transformation. He devoted himself to studying the Qur'an and the teachings of Islam, seeking to align his life with its precepts. His strategic mind, which had once planned military campaigns against Muslims, was now focused on spreading and defending the very faith he had opposed. Military campaigns of Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed. Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed, known as the Sword of Allah, was a key figure in the rapid expansion of the Islamic State, leading numerous successful campaigns that showcased his military genius and tactical prowess. His military career, especially post-conversion, is marked by a series of battles that are not only significant for their historical impact, but also for their strategic brilliance. This section delves into the detailed accounts of his major military engagements, illustrating how Khalid's leadership and tactics shaped the course of Islamic history. The Battle of Mu'tah, 629 CE. Khalid's first major military engagement as a Muslim was the Battle of Mu'tah, a confrontation against the Byzantine forces in Jordan. The battle was one of the earliest encounters between the Islamic State and the Byzantine Empire, and it was crucial in establishing the military reputation of the Muslims in the region. Khalid took command after the Muslim forces suffered heavy losses, including the death of the initial 3 commanders appointed by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Under Khalid's leadership, the remaining troops, heavily outnumbered, executed a series of tactical withdrawals and flanking maneuvers that bewildered the Byzantine forces. Khalid's use of limited resources and his ability to maintain the morale of his troops were instrumental in avoiding a complete rout. His strategic retreats, coupled with controlled counterattacks, allowed the Muslim forces to withdraw without further heavy losses, demonstrating his adeptness in handling adverse situations. This battle earned Khalid significant recognition for his bravery and tactical skill, setting the stage for his future military endeavors. The Conquest of Mecca, 630 CE. The conquest of Mecca marked a turning point in Islamic history, as it saw the peaceful takeover of the city by Muslim forces under the leadership of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, with Khalid commanding one of the battalions. Khalid's role was crucial in ensuring a largely bloodless transition, showcasing his ability to use force judiciously and strategically. His battalion was responsible for one of the key routes into the city, and he successfully negotiated the surrender of resistance forces, minimizing conflict and bloodshed. The Battle of Hunain and Siege of Taif, 630 CE. Shortly after the conquest of Mecca, the Muslim forces faced the Hawazin tribe in the Battle of Hunain. The battle initially posed a significant challenge as the Muslim troops, bolstered by recent converts from Mecca, faced a fierce ambush that threw them into disarray. Khalid's command and his calmness under pressure were pivotal in rallying the Muslim forces and turning the tide of the battle. His strategic positioning and the ability to adapt to the dynamics of the battlefield helped secure a decisive victory. Following Hunain, Khalid played a key role in the siege of Taif, where the remaining Hawazin had fortified themselves. The siege, though lengthy and challenging, showcased Khalid's persistence and tactical ingenuity. He employed various siege techniques, including the use of a catapult to breach the city walls, a testament to his ability to incorporate different military technologies and tactics. Campaigns in Persia, 633-634 CE. As part of the Muslim conquests of Persia, Khalid led a series of lightning campaigns that are considered masterpieces of military maneuvers. His strategy involved rapid movements, often surprising larger and more equipped Persian forces. One of the notable battles during this campaign was the Battle of Walaja, where Khalid used a double envelopment tactic, a maneuver that later military strategists would study and admire. His ability to predict enemy movements and his daring use of the terrain helped in inflicting a crushing defeat on the Persian armies. Campaigns in Roman Syria, 634-637 CE. The campaigns in Roman Syria further established Khalid as one of the most formidable military leaders of his time. His series of battles, including the famous Battle of Yarmouk, were crucial in the eventual Muslim takeover of Syria from Byzantine control. At Yarmouk, Khalid's use of complex tactical formations and his ability to maintain high troop morale under adverse conditions led to a decisive victory against a much larger Byzantine army. This battle is particularly noted for Khalid's strategic use of cavalry to exploit the weaknesses in Byzantine lines, a tactic that significantly altered the course of the battle and led to the rapid collapse of Byzantine resistance in the region. Strategic and tactical innovations. Khalid bin Waleed's military campaigns were not just about brute force. They were characterized by strategic depth and innovative tactics. He was known for his swift movements, surprise attacks, and the efficient use of intelligence. His ability to read the enemy's mind and adapt his strategies accordingly set him apart from other military leaders of his time. Khalid also had a keen sense of when to be merciful and when to be stern, a balance that earned him both respect and loyalty from his troops and subdued populations alike. Reflection. Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed's military campaigns illustrate a brilliant career marked by significant battles that shaped the Islamic Empire. His tactical genius, leadership qualities, and innovative military strategies contributed immensely to the expansion and consolidation of the early Islamic State. Through these campaigns, Khalid not only demonstrated his military prowess, but also his commitment to the principles of Islam, influencing the political and cultural landscape of the Middle East and beyond. His legacy as a military commander endures in the annals of history, serving as a testament to the power of strategic thinking and leadership in warfare. Reflection on his legacy as a convert. Khalid's life post-conversion was marked by a series of military campaigns in which he demonstrated not only his bravery and strategic acumen, but also a deep commitment to the ethical conduct of war prescribed by Islam. His military victories were pivotal in expanding the Muslim territories and securing the nascent Islamic State from external threats. The story of Khalid bin Waleed's conversion to Islam is a testament to the transformative power of faith and the impact of personal change on broader historical events. It underscores the complexities of his character, a man who could fiercely oppose a cause and then embrace it with equal passion when convinced of its righteousness. His journey from skepticism to faith highlights the enduring human capacity for growth and change, making his story a compelling chapter in the annals of Islamic history. Leadership and legacy of Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed. Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed was a figure whose military genius and leadership significantly shaped the early Islamic State. His legacy is characterized by remarkable victories that expanded the Muslim territory and strengthened the community. This section explores Khalid's leadership qualities, his removal from command, his later life, and the enduring impact of his contributions to military strategy and Islamic history. Leadership qualities. Khalid's leadership was marked by several key qualities that distinguished him as one of the greatest military commanders in history. Strategic acumen. Khalid possessed an unparalleled understanding of battlefield tactics and logistics. His strategies were innovative for the time and often involved complex maneuvers that confused and defeated much larger armies. Courage and bravery. Known for his fearless presence in battle, Khalid inspired his troops by leading from the front. His courage was not just about personal bravery, but also about making tough decisions under pressure. Adaptability. He demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt to changing circumstances and unexpected challenges. Whether fighting in the deserts of Arabia or the mountains of Syria, Khalid adjusted his tactics to suit the terrain and the enemy's strengths and weaknesses. Inspirational leadership. Khalid's leadership style was motivational. He was able to inspire his men to achieve what seemed impossible. His belief in the cause of Islam, combined with his charisma, made his soldiers willing to follow him into the most perilous battles. Removal from command. Despite his successes, Khalid's military career was not without controversy. One of the most significant events was his removal from command by Caliph Umar in 634 CE. This decision was influenced by several factors. Concerns over hero worship. There was a growing concern that the troops attributed their victories more to Khalid's leadership than to divine will. Caliph Umar feared that this hero worship could lead to a cult of personality that was contrary to the egalitarian and theocentric ethos of Islam. Political considerations. As the Islamic State expanded, it required a leadership that could not only lead in battle, but also govern newly conquered territories. Umar's decision reflected a need to balance military prowess with administrative capabilities. Personal rivalries. Historical sources suggest that there were personal rivalries at play, which may have influenced Umar's decision. Khalid's dominant position and influence could have been seen as threatening by other leaders within the growing empire. Khalid accepted his removal with dignity and continued to serve as a soldier, demonstrating his unwavering loyalty to the Islamic cause. This episode is often highlighted as a testament to his character and his commitment to the principles of Islamic leadership, where the collective good is placed above individual glory. Legacy. Khalid's military campaigns left a lasting legacy on both the Islamic world and military strategy. Military innovations. Khalid's tactics and strategies are studied in military academies around the world even today. His use of rapid cavalry movements, double envelopment in battle, and psychological warfare were ahead of their time and influenced subsequent generations of military leaders. Expansion of Islam. Through his military campaigns, Khalid played a crucial role in the rapid expansion of Islam into Persia and the Byzantine territories. These conquests not only spread the religious message but also laid the foundations for the Islamic Golden Age, influencing the cultural and scientific landscapes of the Middle East. Cultural impact. Khalid is a revered figure in Islamic culture. His life and battles are often cited in Islamic literature and teachings as examples of courage, faith, and dedication to God's cause. Ethical warfare. Khalid is also remembered for his adherence to the ethical standards of warfare prescribed by Islam. Despite the norms of the time, he often sought to avoid unnecessary bloodshed and treated prisoners of war with compassion. Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed's leadership transcended mere military conquests. It encompassed a profound understanding of the human aspects of warfare, including morale, loyalty, and ethical conduct. His ability to lead and inspire, combined with his innovative tactics, not only made him a legendary figure in Islamic history, but also a model of leadership that resonates across ages. Khalid's life teaches us that true leadership is about resilience, adaptability, and the relentless pursuit of excellence underpinned by moral integrity. His legacy continues to inspire those who study his life. Death of Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed. Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed, one of the most illustrious commanders in Islamic history, known as the Sword of Allah, passed away in 642 CE in the city of Homs, present-day Syria. His death marked the end of a remarkable era of military conquests and strategic brilliance. Circumstances of his death. Despite his life being filled with battle and conflict, Khalid died in his bed, a fact that he reportedly reflected upon with a mix of irony and disappointment. Throughout his military career, Khalid had been known for his invulnerability in battle, having fought in countless skirmishes and major conflicts without ever suffering a mortal wound. It is said that at the time of his death, his body bore scars from over 100 wounds received in battles, each a testament to his bravery and resilience. Khalid's health began to decline as he aged, though the exact cause of his death remains somewhat unclear, with historical accounts mainly attributing it to natural causes. Given the era and the medical limitations of the time, it is plausible that his years of fighting and the toll they took on his body contributed to his deterioration in health. As he lay on his deathbed, surrounded by companions and family, Khalid was contemplative about his life and the fate that awaited him. One of the most poignant moments came when he expressed his thoughts about his survival through numerous battles. His last famous words encapsulate the blend of pride and wistfulness that he felt at having survived so many deadly encounters. "I fought in so many battles seeking martyrdom that there is no place in my body but has a scar by a spear or sword, and yet here I am, dying on my bed like an old camel dies. May the eyes of cowards never find rest in sleep." These words reflect a complex interplay of emotions. On one hand, they express a soldier's desire for a martyr's death, which was considered a highly honorable exit in the context of Islamic valor. On the other hand, they reveal Khalid's acceptance of Allah's will and his recognition that even his life, so dominated by warfare, was ultimately under divine control. Reflection on his death. Khalid's death did not lead to the glorification of martyrdom over a natural death, but rather highlighted his human qualities, his courage, his readiness to face fate, and his deep-seated belief in divine destiny. His passing was mourned deeply by the Muslim community, which remembered him not only for his military exploits, but also for his deep faith, leadership, and commitment to the cause of Islam. His tomb in Homs became a site of respect, visited by those who admired his courage and strategic mind. Over the centuries, Khalid bin Waleed's legacy has been celebrated in Muslim history and culture, embodying the virtues of bravery, leadership, and unwavering faith. Khalid bin Waleed's life and death exemplify the life of a warrior who was as much shaped by his victories as by the way he faced his final moments, reflecting on his experiences and expressing a poignant mix of valor and humility. His last words and the scars that marked his body tell the story of a man who lived at the edge of sword and spear, yet departed the world in quiet solitude, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire to this day. Cultural and religious influence of Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed. Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed is a figure whose military exploits and personal virtues have profoundly influenced both Islamic culture and the broader historical narrative. His impact extends beyond his battlefield victories, affecting religious teachings, cultural traditions, and the collective memory of Muslim communities across the world. This section explores how Khalid's life and legacy have been interwoven with cultural and religious themes, influencing literature, media, and public perception. Influence in Islamic teachings. Khalid bin Waleed's role as a military commander under the leadership of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his successors, particularly in spreading Islam across the Arabian Peninsula and into the Levant and Persia, positions him as a pivotal figure in Islamic history. His conversion to Islam, marked by a profound commitment to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the Quranic teachings, is often cited as a model of spiritual transformation and devotion. Islamic scholars and educators frequently use his life story to illustrate the virtues of faith, bravery, and steadfastness. His tactical genius, combined with his adherence to the ethical and moral codes dictated by Islam during warfare, is highlighted in Islamic jurisprudence and history as exemplary. Khalid is often portrayed as a paragon of the just warrior, balancing the harsh realities of battle with the compassionate treatment of prisoners and non-combatants, a principle deeply embedded in Islamic military ethics. Portrayal in literature and media. Khalid bin Waleed's life has been the subject of numerous biographies, novels, and poems throughout Islamic history. These literary works often emphasize his valor, strategic acumen, and pivotal role in key battles that helped shape the early Islamic State. In modern times, his character has been featured in films, television series, and documentaries that seek to bring historical figures to life for contemporary audiences. One notable portrayal is in the television series Omar, where Khalid is depicted as a fearless and strategic military leader whose life is intricately linked to the spread of Islam during its nascent phase. These portrayals often highlight his military campaigns, his relationship with other prominent sahaba, companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his pivotal role in the expansion of the Muslim empire. Cultural symbol. In Muslim-majority countries, Khalid bin Waleed is celebrated as a hero and a stalwart Muslim. His name is commonly given to boys, signifying a wish for them to grow up possessing qualities of bravery and leadership. Numerous mosques, schools, and institutions across the Islamic world are named after him, each serving as a testament to his enduring legacy. In addition to physical monuments, Khalid's influence permeates cultural expressions such as poetry, songs, and folklore, particularly in regions that were directly affected by his campaigns. In these cultural artifacts, He is often symbolized as the ultimate warrior, guided by divine will, whose tactics and decision-making were as much a product of his faith as his natural leadership abilities. Modern relevance. Khalid's military strategies and leadership lessons remain relevant today, not only for those studying military history, but also for leaders in various fields. His ability to adapt to rapidly changing circumstances, to learn from setbacks, and to persist in the face of overwhelming odds provides powerful lessons in resilience and strategic planning. Leadership seminars and books sometimes reference Khalid's tactics and decisions to illustrate principles of effective leadership, crisis management, and ethical conduct in challenging situations. His life story encourages a balanced approach to leadership that combines strength with compassion, assertiveness with wisdom. Scholarly interest. Academic interest in Khalid bin Waleed has led to numerous scholarly articles and research papers that analyze his military campaigns, leadership style, and his role in the rapid spread of Islam. Historians and scholars of Islamic studies often delve into his strategies and battles to gain insights into the military tactics of the time and their impact on the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. This scholarly work helps in understanding the complexities of the early Islamic conquests, debunking myths, and providing a nuanced view of his contributions beyond the often simplistic portrayals in popular media. Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed's cultural and religious influence is profound and multifaceted. As a military leader, he is revered for his prowess and strategic acumen. As a religious figure, he is respected for his deep faith and commitment to the principles of Islam. His legacy is not confined to the annals of history, but continues to resonate in the cultural, educational, and religious life of the Islamic world. Through literature, media, and scholarly research, the life and lessons of Khalid bin Waleed remain a source of inspiration and admiration, reflecting the enduring impact of his character and achievements on generations past and present. The enduring legacy of Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed. Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed, known as the Sword of Allah, remains a towering figure in Islamic history, embodying the quintessence of valor, strategic genius, and devout faith. His life and campaigns have been studied and revered over centuries, not merely as historical events, but as lessons in leadership, bravery, and the power of transformation through faith. Khalid's legacy is woven into the fabric of Islamic culture and continues to inspire millions around the world. A model of military excellence, Khalid's military career, marked by key victories and strategic brilliance, set standards in warfare that are still studied in military academies today. His ability to turn the tide of battle through innovative tactics and decisive leadership remains a benchmark for military strategists. Khalid's campaigns are particularly noted for their swift maneuvers and the ethical conduct with which they were carried out, reflecting his adherence to the principles of warfare prescribed in Islam. His engagements at Mu'tah, the conquests of Mecca, the decisive victories at Hunain and Taif, and his significant contributions to the Muslim victories in Persian and Roman territories are critical studies for understanding not only the spread of Islam, but also the historical and political landscape of the 7th century. Each campaign under his command demonstrated his unparalleled ability to assess, adapt, and execute plans that maximized his forces' strengths and exploited the enemy's weaknesses. Beyond the battlefield, Khalid's conversion to Islam is a story of profound personal transformation. From a fierce opponent to a staunch defender of the faith, his spiritual journey reflects the potential for change within all individuals, emphasizing the Islamic teaching that true enlightenment comes from guided introspection and sincere faith. His story is often cited in religious teachings to exemplify the life-changing impact of embracing Islam, showcasing how faith can redefine an individual's purpose and path, an inspiration across ages. The figure of Khalid bin Waleed transcends the historical and geographical confines of the early Islamic era, reaching into the present as a symbol of excellence and righteousness. His legacy is not just preserved in the texts and monuments, but is alive in the lessons drawn from his life by those seeking guidance in leadership, morality, and faith. Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed's legacy is multifaceted and enduring. As a military commander, his strategic foresight and bravery set the foundations for the vast expanses of the Islamic Empire. As a convert to Islam, his journey reflects the transformative power of faith. As a cultural icon, he inspires tales of valor and virtue. Khalid's life and legacy continue to resonate, offering timeless lessons in resilience, strategic acumen, and the pursuit of greatness underpinned by moral integrity. Through his story, we glean insights into not only the historical spread of Islam, but also the enduring human capacities for growth, change, and transcendence. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. If you enjoyed this video and found it interesting, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more content celebrating the Islamic heritage. Your support really helps spread these important stories and teachings. We hope that Allah brings peace, happiness, and success to you and your family.